This is Talk Easy. I'm Sam Fragoso. Welcome to the show.
Good evening. My name is Jin-Hee Kim, and I help out with public events and community and public engagement here at Aspen Institute. I'm about 3 months into the role here, so you can imagine my excitement and a little bit of terror when I was asked to introduce a session with Julia Louis-Dreyfus and Sam Fragoso. So to say that I was excited actually is a bit of an understatement, because you see, to start with Sam, he has been called the modern-day James Lipton, Roy Firestone, and Barbara Walters, which you can see the consistency. They get people to cry, and this is why we watch. He elicits emotions even the interviewee isn't expecting from questions that they may have been asked before. The only thing you can be prepared for with a Sam Fragoso interview is to be unprepared for what you might see or hear or feel. While Julia Louis-Dreyfus needs no introduction, I have the privilege of personally thanking her for being more than what we've all come to know as a comedian and actor. She's actually a true artist of her craft. With an extraordinary breadth of work, from Seinfeld to Enough Said to Veep and to the most recent Tuesday, and as a recipient of numerous awards and accolades, including the Kennedy Center's Mark Twain Award and the National Medal of Arts, she is not only a fan favorite, but a force of creativity. Julia has said that she is open to any good material, and I think it's safe to say that we are open to anything Julia. Julia Louis-Dreyfus and Sam Fragoso.
What an intro. Holy cow.
I didn't really hear it, but I think it was
but it
positive.
seemed great. It seemed...
It was? Okay, good.
Well, it was good. Okay. We'll get a clip of it back later.
Are these lights bright?
Yeah.
Oh.
Aren't you used to this by now?
I want them brighter.
Right. I want everyone to see just how tired I am, so just turn the lights up. Hi, Julia.
Hi, Sam.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too.
We don't really know each other.
Not really.
It's okay.
Yeah.
We'll figure
work
it out.
We'll work it out.
Can we start with your new movie?
Sure.
I'm going to try to explain it. For people who haven't seen it, it's called Tuesday. At any point, feel free to jump in on the description.
No, that's okay. You do it.
Okay, good. Make me work. It's good. It's about a mother and her terminally ill teenage daughter. The child is very much prepared for the end of her life. The mom, your character, is in denial, I think. Mm-hmm. Until, of course, death visits in the form of a massive talking macaw.
Yes.
Okay. Everyone with me? Okay. The bird is basically a death doula. And so when you read this script,
Yeah.
I imagine you enjoyed the fantasy elements of it. But what about its fundamental ideas around fear, mortality, motherhood, made you want to dive into this project?
Well,
Sorry, this is Talk Easy. We just jump right in.
No, that's
the
cool.
big stuff.
Yeah, let's do it. The discussion of death and grief and dying, those discussions interest me. And this was an opportunity for me to delve into something dramatic, which also really interested me. This is something, it's work that is unlike other work that I've done. And I liked the fantastical element of exploring these themes. I thought it was it's very much a sort of a magical realism fairy tale. It feels very sort of Eastern European in in the fairy tale sense. And I thought that that was a really interesting way into consider the various themes of the film.
You shot the film in London, right?
Yeah.
So this material is asking you to dive into a lot of dark, hard, thorny places.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to imagine you in London, away from your family,
Yes.
calling back home to your kids and to your husband. What are those conversations like on the phone?
Well, they're, I'm a homebody, so I call home a lot anyway. But there are particular scenes in the film that were rather crushing to try and crush, and so they definitely had an effect on me. I felt a little unmoored, to say the least. I had to sort of remind myself who I was, as actory as that sounds, but you do have to kind of give yourself over.
How would you do that in these phone calls?
I would just want to know what it was tell me stuff about home,
The most normal
I need to
day-to-day.
hear normal things, you
Right.
know? Did the dog have diarrhea again? That sort of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
You wanted diarrhea updates.
Correct. And believe me, I got them on a daily basis. We have a dog with IBS. So, yes, it's true. Poor George. We got a lemon, but we love him to death.
You know, and death is the word. Thank you right here in the front row. That's exactly what I was going to say. You're balancing, levity and also the gravity of the movie. You told the New York Times that during filming, you became slightly unhinged.
Yes.
What does that look like for you? If you'd like to demonstrate, everyone more than.
It looks like, what does it look like? I'm highly anxious, I just anxious, just imagine high anxiety for yourself. That was me. Hard to go to sleep, hard to calm down, because the scenes were, with a dying child. I mean, need I say more? And that is not a pleasant headspace to be in.
And yet it seemed like something and yet it seemed like it was a headspace you wanted to be in.
Yeah, because I'm an actor and I wanted to tell this particular story because I thought it was worth telling. And I enjoy even the hard things as an actor. I really love being an actor, truth be told. And so even the hard stuff has a grip on me.
Well, for those who haven't seen it, why don't we take a look at what that hard stuff produced and that time spent in London and watch a clip from the trailer of the film.
Okay.
Tuesday. Good?
Yeah, good. Where are we seeing it?
I think everywhere.
I just don't think you understand how Tinder works.
Can I tell you something? I know exactly how Tinder works.
Then
I
you
do.
don't understand how flirting works.
How do you think you got here?
It hurts
Where, honey?
everywhere.
You made my head silent.
Who are you talking to? Can you please just come out so she can see you?
Madam, you need to say goodbye to your daughter.
You have to get strong now. I can't. You can. And you have to let me help you.
Life, every life ends.
I I felt the pain that you have. I don't know what I am without you, who I am without you. I don't know what the world is without you in it. I love you more than anything in the whole world. You'll be okay. Promise. Promise. Promise, promise. Promise, promise. Promise, promise.
The echo you leave, the legacy, your memory is how she lives.
It's true. I got an email right before we started. They're actually canceling the Oscars this year. They're just going to give it to you. just giving it to you outright. You know, I was watching the film again last night and even watching the trailer now. It's kind of unbelievable how well suited you are for this material. Like the leap from comedy actor to dramatic actor doesn't seem like much of a leap. And yet you had this quote you told the LA Times, this role it's exactly the thing I knew I could do if I had the opportunity. And yet I'm certain that 20 years ago, nobody would have considered me for this role.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, because that's how showbiz works, Sam. I mean, it seems like.
By the way, I wish every week we could have a call where you're like, and that's how showbiz works, Sam, you idiot.
Because I was really ensconced in doing big fat comedy, good comedy, but so. My name wouldn't leap to mind for this kind of a role.
Right.
Yeah.
But the first part of that quote is the most interesting, I think, that you knew you could do it.
Oh, yeah.
How did you know?
Well, I mean, I just do. I've studied to be an actor. The truth is the jobs that I've gotten in my life as professionally have been comedic. Those were, and then it sort of took on this thing. By the way, FYI, totally not complaining. I have loved my career and.
Oh, you can complain.
No, but I'm not going to, because in this case, I mean, I love to complain too.
Yeah.
But
Doesn't that annoy you when people say, no complaints? How do you have no complaints?
oh no, complain.
understand this.
But Fran Lebowitz said, complaining is just telling the truth, which I really appreciate.
Yeah.
But anyway, now I forgot what I was talking about.
No, the thing that you're talking about is that you studied acting.
Yeah.
You knew that you
That's
could do
right.
this.
Yes.
And I guess I want to go back to the young Julia that knew that she could do this, that had these sort of acting convictions.
Yeah.
you
Do
mind
you
if-
mean like when I was doing Sorry, Wrong Number in my parents' basement and I played Mrs. Stevenson? Because that was extraordinary, ladies and gentlemen.
I heard you would invite the neighborhood to come.
Yes.
And you would charge them admission.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Didn't
would
you get
charge-
mad when people didn't do their lines right?
You bet your ass I did. My neighbor, Michael Edson's, he was, I believe, 6 or 7, and he was playing one of the murderers, and he screwed up the line. And I was like,
By the way,
by the way, I was 12
Yes.
or 11.
never too young to receive notes. Never too young. I wasn't going to talk about that, but
Okay,
I'm glad
no,
you
sorry,
did.
I'm going off on a tangent.
No, I want to go to you at 18. So not that far off.
Okay.
Okay. You're a senior at Holton Arms.
Correct.
It's an all-girls school in Maryland. I don't know why I said that like it was a bad thing, but it's not. One of your favorite films at the time was a movie called Julia.
Yes.
It's starring the great Jane Fonda.
The wonderful Jane Fonda, who's here. I understand.
Is she? I don't think she's in
No,
here.
I don't mean here. I mean here.
She could be a big Julia Talk Easy fan. We don't know. Okay, so when it comes to like high school graduation, it's the end of the year, and there's a yearbook that goes around. And of course, when you're a senior, you get your senior quote.
Yes.
And the quote is supposed to represent who you are and what you want to communicate to your fellow classmates.
Yes.
Parting words to all the kids you went to school with. And I thought, if you wouldn't mind, we'd read from some of those pages from the class of 1979.
Okay.
Do you want to give context for this quote?
Sure.
Don't seem so excited about it, though.
Should I explain what the quote is?
I think a little.
Yeah. So this quote is actually a Lillian Hellman quote. And it's from, I guess, the story she wrote called Julia. And so this is the quote. Old paint on a canvas as it ages sometimes becomes transparent. When that happens, it's possible in some pictures to see the original lines. A tree will show through a woman's dress. A child makes way for a dog. A large boat is no longer on an open sea. That is called pentimento because the painter repented, changed his mind. Perhaps it would be as well to say that the old conception, replaced by a later choice, is a way of seeing and then seeing again. That is all I mean about the people in this book. The paint has aged, and I wanted to see what was there for me once, what is there for me now. It's a great quote. It's very, very highfalutin for an 18-year-old to put that on her senior page.
How was everything going in high school?
I was aspirational, let us say.
How also, this is another dumb question, but how many pages did they give you in this yearbook? Because this is like,
It was. I think it was a full page, and it was small type, crunched down.
That's good.
It was
That's
very important to me to put this on the page. Listen, it could have been something from Winnie the Pooh or something.
Yeah,
That's what most people.
how did you know that was mine? That was mine. On a more serious note, as a teenager, what about that passage articulated what you wanted to present to your classmates and to yourself? Beyond the pretentiousness of it, like, it clearly meant something to you.
I mean, it meant something to me, I think, from an artistic point of view. I mean, I'm embarrassed by it, but I actually reading it, I think it's beautiful. I think it's an interesting consideration, pentimento, and it's an interesting. It's a true way of viewing life. I mean, your experience when you're 18 is that experience then. And then when you are 35, you consider that experience and you might be seeing it through a different lens and something is showing through the paint. And I think that that's true of life, is it not? I mean, we're constantly reconsidering realities based on experience.
It also reads like someone who wants to desperately grow up and not be a kid anymore.
Well, let me tell you, that was definitely me. Yeah.
Okay, that was you.
Oh, yeah.
And you knew you wanted to act. You knew you wanted to do this.
Yeah.
I guess, that yearning to be taken seriously, to grow up and become an adult. One of the subjects that you often come back to on your podcast, Wiser Than Me, which if you haven't listened to it, is very good.
Thank you.
One of the subjects you come back to again and again
Yeah.
is ambition. And which for women in 2024 is a thorny subject.
Is it still?
I think so.
Yes, it's such
Wow.
a shame. Okay.
This is why we do a live show. It's
Yeah,
good.
I love it.
It's a call and response. And I can imagine in the 80s, when you're first starting out on SNL, it was even more challenging.
Yeah.
How did you understand your relationship to ambition at that age?
I didn't understand it. I felt it. I felt maybe shy about it, but it didn't keep me from it. And
What do you mean by that?
I didn't want to articulate it. There was something I almost didn't want people to know. It was my secret, but I had it.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're on this show at 21. I mean, you were like the youngest castmate
Yeah.
at the time, right?
Yeah.
So were you able to hold the creative person you wanted to be and the ambitious person? Like, how did you think of yourself in that moment?
Well, it was really rough. It was very hard to be. This was Saturday Night Live, and I was very. I was really naive and green as green could be. I was in college. I was doing theater in Chicago while I was in college, but then they plucked us out of. I left school to do SNL, but you have to understand that I grew up. I was in junior high school and stuff in the 70s, right? So that's when SNL first came on the scene. There was nothing like that on television. It was speaking to my generation.
With Bill Murray and folks like
Oh
that?
yeah, and Chevy and Gilda and all, Jane Curtin, all those people, and they were irreverent. It was like nothing like that on television, and I felt like they were my people. I remember I was just thinking about this the other day. I had a picture of Gilda Radner in my bedroom growing up. It was on my bulletin board, and these were my people. So that when I got hired to do it, it was not what I expected it to be. And by the way, it was also a very different atmosphere then. It was a different cast. It was not being run by the Lorne Michaels and his group at that time. So it was very different, and it was very dog eat dog, and I had no understanding of that. I thought it would be an ensemble and we would all get along perfectly, and I was very misguided.
You were on the show from 1982 to 1985.
Yes.
And you've called it a grad school in entertainment in which I learned a lot.
Yes.
If we're sticking with the collegiate analogy,
Yeah.
what would some of the courses be named? And what did you take away from them?
Well, let's see. One course is called Cocaine Does Not Make You Funnier.
That's just entry level, so that's right at the top.
Yeah.
It's a good life lesson.
It is a good life lesson. I remember these sketches would come to the table read. They're like 18 pages long, and there's one writer in the corner who wrote it. And as it's being read, he's like, ha 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 ha, and you're like, I remember thinking, what is up with him? Anyway, yeah. So I passed that course.
Okay.
Yeah.
You passed that course. Were there any other classes you want to shout out?
Oh boy.
In terms of lessons that actually mattered to you and how you move forward from this.
Yes. Well, the big takeaway for me, as simplistic as it sounds, was I'm not going to do this anymore if it's not fun. That was because it wasn't fun. I did not have a good time. There were moments of bonding with certain people, including Larry David, by the way, who was there my third year, and he and I bonded over being miserable. But really, truly, the takeaway for me was if I can't get back to a place where I'm having fun, like I was in Chicago doing theater at Northwestern and theater on the stage in Chicago, then I think I'm just not going to do this because it's not what I thought it was.
And did you have an idea of what you would do if not that?
No, I had no skills.
Right.
I still don't. I hadn't thought it through beyond that. It wasn't like I was saying to myself, I'm going to give up. I just considered I'm going to pound at this and see if I can find a way to feel good and have, find joy but that's going to be that's going to be what I'm reaching for.
So the one bit of joy, the only silver lining of SNL seems to be Larry David. Is that fair?
Yeah, although I didn't know it at the time. I
Right.
mean, but yes, I mean, and by the way, I made friends there, so I don't want to make it sound like
Okay.
it was all shit, but
But you bonded over misery.
we did indeed. Yeah.
Okay. He's pretty well known for airing his grievances.
Yes. Yes. He based a Seinfeld episode on that called Festivus.
For the rest of us. Yeah.
Right.
I forgot my poll at home, sadly. He is like, that was a deep cut Seinfeld bit.
That was
No,
a great episode, by
It
the
is
way.
really good. Jerry Stiller.
Oh,
My God.
please.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. God love him to death.
But he really is like the Michael Jordan of expressing discontent. And so I want to know, the two of you, did the two of you complain about the same things?
Sure.
And okay.
Yes.
And what were they?
Nobody knows what's funny here. Nobody gets what we're doing. They're not putting my sketches on the air. They're not putting me on the air. In that general
Stuff like
vicinity.
that.
Yeah.
You once told an interviewer that if you ever had a memoir, it would be called Frustration, I Love You. Mm-hmm. Is that still true? Because it sounds like a frustrated time.
Yes. It's an idea. I think
It was the first draft.
it's a first draft. I don't know if I'd stick with that as a member, but I think it's certainly been a theme in a lot of the roles I've played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But which is kind of hard. Like when you're saying that, I think everyone in here goes, but you're Julia fucking Dreyfus. Like this, the idea that you've been frustrated is hard to imagine for some people.
What? I mean, the show business is really hard. It can, there's, you go out there, you try to get jobs, and sometimes you get them. It's fantastic. And then sometimes you don't. And that's frustrating. Yeah.
To talk about Seinfeld, we need like a whole nother Aspen Ideas Festival to
That's
do that.
fine. I'll come back. It's fine.
Wow. What a nice offer. That's not what I thought you were going to say.
It's relaxed. It feels very chill here. I like
yeah,
it.
it was. We're doing. Has it been good so far?
Yeah, I think. You?
No, I'll list my complaints later. No. The lights, have they gotten brighter though? I
Yeah,
don't know.
they are very bright.
Okay, but since we're here, can we talk about it a little bit? Because I want to talk about the collaboration between Larry and Jerry Seinfeld. Because as the years have gone on, the reputation is that it's a show about nothing, and it's and because it's about nothing and moves so seamlessly, I think some people conflate effortlessness with ease. And I bring that up because when you accepted the Mark Twain Prize, you thanked Jerry in that speech, and you said, I learned a lot from Jer over the years, principally the importance of hard work. Mm-hmm. Jerry killed himself to make Seinfeld good. Mm-hmm. He and Larry David worked so hard, it is actually impossible to describe. And, when you said that, it was very like emotionally charged.
Yeah.
The way you said it.
Yeah.
Which for like Seinfeld is such a no hugging, unsentimental
Yeah.
show.
No hugging, no learning was the
Exactly.
edict. Yeah.
We were going to title that was going to be the title of this talk too. But 6 years removed, like where does that quote land with you, and how have you come to understand their collaboration?
Oh well, it was obviously unique. It was, lightning in a bottle, I would say. They're actually very different people in a lot of ways, but they had a shared comedic brain.
Brain trust kind of thing?
Yeah, but they came at moments from a slightly different angle, but they came at the same moment.
How would you describe each person's angle?
Oh God, this is impossible to answer. Oh God. I have to think about that. I'm so sorry, you guys, because it's like it's in my it's like practically in my body. It's hard to sort of articulate it.
Yeah.
Larry was a hand wringer. That's no surprise. Jerry was more open, and the combo. I wonder if they would agree with me on that. And the combo of those things, but they were both. They would not give up. They were a dog with a bone. They were two dogs with the same bone.
Right.
Yeah. There you go. That took forever to get out. Sorry.
You know, the beautiful thing is, we're grateful for everyone here, but people will listen to this later. It will be edited. We're going to.
Oh yeah,
great.
thank you. Oh, I appreciate that. Just go straight to the dog and the bone thing.
Go to the diarrhea joke, definitely. Dog and bone. You said recently that you don't think Seinfeld would get made today. Why?
Well, I say that because I think it's very hard today to get anything that's off the beaten path made. So I think that is, you know, people are a little bit more nervous these days, and Seinfeld barely did get made, by the way.
Right.
They did the pilot, and then they ordered 4 episodes. Like that was a huge stamp of approval, and then after that, the next season was 13. So it was like But anyway, it was not like the standard sitcom on television back then. You know, it was Cosby and Cheers, and it was very the comedic structure of those shows was recognizable. And by the way, I'm not taking away from those shows in terms of the quality of them. I'm just saying that there was a way of coming in and telling a joke that was pretty recognizable. And that was not the case on Seinfeld.
You know, when I ask that question, and it's happened a few times, this front row I'm loving, they answer it a little bit sometimes for you. And I think someone said political. And I'm thinking, like, political correctness in comedy is a subject that is brought up almost exclusively on CNN, podcasts, or around a dinner table where people are bored and want to fight about something. That's the first joke you liked. Okay, good. You have even worked with some people that have lamented this era of political correctness and that we're out of the golden age of comedy. I'm not going to name names, but when the New York Times asked you about it, you have a quote that I actually think is fascinating. I don't mean actually, most of what you say is fascinating. But you said, I believe being aware of certain sensitivities is not a bad thing. When I hear people starting to complain about political correctness, to me, that's a red flag because it sometimes means something else. When you say it sometimes means something else, what are you thinking about exactly?
I think what I want to say is that I want to double down on being sensitive. I think that
we're in Aspen, double down.
I am. I think that I believe that looking at material and art through a different lens can be helpful, and I would posit that if you were to look back on any art 30, 40 years ago, you will find things that might not stand the test of time today. And that's interesting, isn't it? And so it then stands to reason that there may be things we're doing now that don't stand the test of time. And it's perfectly okay to consider that all the time. And I am a fan of comedy even comedy that fails, and I also said I reserve the right to boo what I think is shitty material or offensive material, but comedy is about taking risks, and I think this PC talk is bullshit, to tell you the truth. That's what I think.
I'm always confused by the conversation because it exists in such a vacuum, because it often ignores how much good stuff is out there.
Yeah.
As if it's not happening. And of course, I'm thinking about Veep in this. Pause. Which completely flies in the face of political correctness or whatever that conversation is. And so for those that
Yes.
may need a refresher,
Oh, good.
I thought we would play a scene from Veep that not only didn't get you canceled, but won you many, many Emmys.
Okay.
This is from season 5 of Veep, in which President Selina Meyer is trying to convince a congresswoman from Colorado
Oh, yeah.
to be in support of her bill.
Cut the shit, Selena.
Can we turn it up?
All roads through Colorado go through me, and the toll just went up.
You're playing a very dangerous game of chicken with the head fucking head. Because if I don't win the White House, O'Brien is going to sink your stupid boats. And you're going to look like a hair-sprayed asshole in your 1980s Mother of the Bride dress. And if I do win, I will have my administration come to your shitty little district and shake it to death like a Guatemalan nanny. And then I'm going to have the IRS crawl so far up your husband's colon, he's going to wish the only thing they find is more cancer. So, can I count on your vote? Or do I need to shove a box of White House M&Ms up your stretched out six-baby vag? Yes, my vote. I think I want to hear a okie dokie, Annie Oakley.
Okie dokie, Annie Oakley.
Super duper trooper.
Ay.
I just want to be clear on one thing. When she says shitty little Colorado district, she is not referencing Aspen or any of its beautiful surrounding areas. She's probably referencing wherever Lauren Boebert comes from. Where is that, by the way? Could someone say that? Here. And Lauren's here with you? Oh, there it is. I didn't hear it.
Wow. Okay. Quickly change the subject.
So the election. No problem.
Hi.
The lights are definitely brighter, right?
I know.
Right?
Brighter
So
and brighter.
The show, I really do, I mean, though, like, you watch that clip, not canceled, you have more Emmys than fingers, you're good.
Thank you.
But I mean, like, those jokes can happen, and it's fine. It's fine. I feel like we all need to reset a little bit on that conversation. Can we go to Sunday, September 17th? Yes, 2017.
Uh-huh.
It's going to make sense. Hold on. That night you win an Emmy.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, okay, it's making sense. It's going to work. You make history that night when you win the 6th Emmy for playing Selina Meyer, which I think is the most anyone's won for playing one character.
Mm-hmm.
The next morning, it's Monday, you get a call from your doctor. When you replay that call in your head, what does it look and sound like?
Well, the call was from my doctor saying that I had breast cancer. And so it was sort of, it was like a cartoon, just when you thought you'd made it, you got crushed. I got crushed in that moment. I actually started laughing, believe it or not, but that actually makes sense. it was hilarious to get that news on the heels of the night before. And then, of course, I started to weep. But and then I just got into, let's go mode, after that. I mean, pretty quickly.
What did that look like?
Meeting, finding out what kind of cancer it is, meeting multiple doctors, interviewing doctors, talking to people that I knew that had had breast cancer. I mean, the list goes on. It's a crash course in breast cancer and finding the right doctor for you. Yeah.
You said that, you said in the past that you didn't allow yourself to think about the bad outcome. How did you do that?
With a sort of blinder-like focus. I liken it to a long, long time ago. I was with my husband, and we were in the Bahamas, actually, on a scientific boat, and we were doing some stuff, and I was swimming in the water, and I was far away from the boat, and my husband came to the bow and he said, "Jules, I don't want you to panic, but there's a shark in the water." And it was, in fact, like a 12 or 13 foot bull shark. So it was a significant animal. And he said that, and I saw the ladder on the boat, and I just swam towards the ladder. And I just kept my eyes on the ladder, that I was getting to the ladder. And that's exactly what I did with this diagnosis. I did not, I could not allow any other thing to come into my head.
You focused on the ladder.
I focused on the ladder. Yeah. And it got me through. Yeah.
David Mandel was a showrunner on Veep. You worked with him back in your Seinfeld days.
Yes. And also on Curb.
Yeah, just the best.
Yeah.
And he gave a quote to the New Yorker because he was asked about that time, that period when you were sick, and the changes in schedule of the show and all that, and also what it did to him.
Yeah.
And he said something that I have to tell you has just stayed with me, all week. So I'm just going to read the quote and see if it lands. We keep touching the foot. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, it's fine. I didn't notice it. These are wedges, so it's probably not a problem.
It felt fine. It was okay. This is me putting off the emotional quote. Okay. I had the sense of the walls closing in on me. And I was racked with guilt and other weird Jewishness, and I was a goddamn wreck. She seemed great. Then we watched her go through chemo, and you can see its effects on her. She got thinner and thinner, and we couldn't hug her because we were afraid to get her sick. It was the first time that all of a sudden she looked her age and seemed human and vulnerable. Did you feel those things too in that time?
Which things?
Human, vulnerable.
Very.
In ways that he makes it seem like he had never seen from you before.
Well, it's a very dear thing that he says, and I love Dave Mandel with my heart. It's funny because he did something, and actually hearing that, it sort of, I'm thinking about this in a new way. Speaking of Pentimento, originally, when I was first diagnosed, I had this idea that I was going to still shoot the show of Veep in between chemo treatments. I had this, so I can keep working. It's going to be fine. Well,
You'll squeeze it in.
I'll squeeze it in. Yeah, squeeze it in. And, we may have to slow the schedule down, but I can do it. Well, obviously, that was... and he was like, sure. Bless him. And then... that was not possible. But what was possible was I had chemo treatments every 3 weeks. And in that third week before the next treatment, I would start to feel better. And so what we would do is we would all gather and have a table read of the next script. And I realize now that they were sort of, it was a kindness, and because we would all gather and we would read these scripts, and I would give notes on the scripts and stuff, but it was a real gesture of love for them, and it kept me looking at for that letter too. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, it was really dear.
It's odd how kindness can move us like that.
I know, right? And it was, at the time I thought I was helping them because I was working on the show with him. We were working on, for real, coming in, they said, this doesn't work. We need to retool this, giving all these, but I think it was the other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hadn't even considered that until this moment.
I love that. There was another very supportive person within the first week of your diagnosis. It's my understanding that then Vice President Biden called you.
Mm-hmm.
And, most people don't get to speak to the president or any of the elected officials that we are asked to take a leap of faith for.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if there's something in that call with him, in that exchange, that the public should know about the president, like something they perhaps don't.
Well, I hope they know that he's a genuinely kind and decent human being. He wanted to know how I was doing, who my doctors were, did I need his help? He was working on the cancer moonshot. Bear in mind, his own son had, I believe, was struggling then, or perhaps he had just passed away. Forgive me, I don't know exactly that timeline. But this was something that he was living and breathing, and he took the time to really reach out in a very fundamentally kind way, and because he is a fundamentally kind person.
Around this time every year, I head back home to visit family in Chicago, and then I make the trip to New York to tape some episodes for Talk Easy in the city. This summer is no exception to that tradition, leaving my space entirely vacant, my plants unattended, and we all know that the cost of travel adds up very, very quickly. Flights, hotels, dinners, the little things you don't think about until suddenly you're paying for all of them all at once. That's why I've been thinking about listing my space on Airbnb while I'm out of town. It's a simple way to earn some extra money while helping someone else enjoy their time in Los Angeles. What I like about it is that it's practical. The math of it all makes sense because hosting can help offset the cost of a trip you're already planning to take. It's one of those ideas that feels so obvious you start to wonder why you didn't do it before, especially in the summer when so many people are traveling and on the move, hoping to just have a decent, quiet place to return to after a long day in a new city. If you ever thought about hosting, now might be a good time to start. Your home might be worth more than you think. Find out how much at airbnb.com/host. There's something about summertime that makes you think more clearly about what matters. Maybe it's more time with family and friends, or just a feeling that you want life to feel a little lighter and slower. It invites a renewed sense of responsibility, the desire to protect what you've built and make sure the people you care about are taken care of and accounted for. But financial planning can feel heavy, and life insurance is one of those things people tend to put off, not because it isn't important, but because it feels complicated and daunting. That's where Policy Genius helps. Policy Genius is an online insurance marketplace that lets you compare quotes from America's top insurers side by side for free. Their licensed team works for you, not the insurance companies, so the guidance is built around what you actually need. They help you find the right coverage amounts, prices, and terms without the guesswork. They answer questions, handle the paperwork, and advocate for you throughout the whole process. What stood out to me was how straightforward it all felt. Something I'd built up in my head as complicated and scary, ended up feeling like one of those rare tasks that actually gives you peace and quiet after you finish it. With Policy Genius, you can see if you can find 20-year life insurance policies starting at just $276 a year for $1 million in coverage. Head to policygenius.com to compare life insurance quotes from top companies and see how much you could save. That's policygenius.com.
Jane Fonda, I want to bring it all the way back to where we started a little bit. I'm hearing you talk about all that you're doing right now, and of course your acting work, and I can't help but think of Jane Fonda, who was very much a key influence for your podcast, Wiser Than Me.
Yes.
And you know, I'm thinking about how she talks about life in 3 acts.
Yeah.
You know, it's like 0 to 30, 30 to 60, 60 to 90. And she's lived so many lives in that. But it also makes me think about her work as an actor and like your more dramatic work in the past decade. The vulnerability of films like Enough Said, You Hurt My Feelings, Tuesday. And I know in the beginning you said 20 years ago they would have never offered me that. Mm-hmm. But you were ready to do it. Mm-hmm. But now that you have, do you think like the work, it doesn't just come on the heels of the past few decades, but it's a result of them? Like, do you think does everything you've had, all the journey we've talked about,
Yeah.
in some way, I don't know, do you imbue those performances with that experience, with that lived experience?
Oh, without question. I mean, I couldn't have played Selina Meyer when I was 38 because I didn't have the life experience that I could inject into that woman. I didn't have an understanding of I had a better understanding of who she was given the life experience I'd had up to that point. And for example, in this movie Tuesday, I'm a mother of 2 grown children. I have lost people very dear to me in my own life. I have experienced both parenthood and deep and profound loss. I can bring all of that to bear in the film. So that's not. So I could have tried to find a way into it if I hadn't had those experiences, but having had them, I can bring them to bear. So sure, you bring all of that. Yeah.
The parrot or the macaw as a death doula.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about, you mentioned all the loss you've endured, and we haven't spent that much time talking about your father, but he wrote a book of poems.
He did.
That he finished, I think, 2 or 3 days before he passed.
Yes.
It's called Letters Written and Not Sent. Mm-hmm. And it's so good. And
thank you.
I just think it's fantastic. And I thought before we go, if you would be open to reading a piece from that book.
Oh my God, I'd love to. That's so nice.
Okay.
This is incredible. Oh, yes. This is a poem that my father wrote. It's called Explanation. God must mean for us to reason that the flower, first in bloom, taut and shining, is not altered even in its dying season. God's the present, ever missing till we meet it when we die. Life's the ambush of tomorrow and the sorrow of goodbye. Ooh, that gives me goosebumps. Yeah. It's good.
Did you and your family put that on his tombstone?
Yes, I put that on his tombstone. Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Life's the ambush of tomorrow and the sorrow of goodbye. I mean, I think that applies to everyone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like, I can't help but separate that quote is so linked to this new movie.
Yeah.
To Tuesday.
Yeah.
And there's a line in it where the macaw, and again, you have to see it to believe it, but the macaw says to your character, a mom that's in denial, a mom that doesn't want to say goodbye, mm-hmm. that how you live it is how she lives. And I'm thinking, like, in the Fonda 3-act structure of life,
Yeah.
you just started your 60s. How do you want to live it?
Oh my God. Fully, openly, with arms outstretched. That's how I feel. It's funny, you know, I feel youthful in that way. You know, I want to try new things. I want to keep fighting the good fight. I want to look for good art. I want to fully live my life and be hopefully a good person doing so. Yeah.
I love that.
So basic, but I think everybody feels that way, right?
What's kind of amazing is your first 2 acts, you've lived so fully. So to imagine the next one is kind of impossible.
It's going to blow your mind,
It's
Sam.
going to blow my mind. And obviously, we're going to have to come back to Aspen to talk about it.
No fucking way we're not going to.
But truly, I so love all that you have brought into this world.
Thank you.
In Act 1 and Act 2. And whatever happens next in Act 3, I'm so looking forward to it. And I thank you profoundly for the time tonight, truly.
Oh, that's so nice of you. Thank you. This has been really fun.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus, everyone.